for joining us for another edition of The Akronist. I recently read a quote that said, "Your life is your message to the world. Make it inspirational." I am here with author, educator, orator, and poet Shaneen A. Harris, and she truly is inspirational. Welcome to The Akronist.
Thank you, Pat.
Because God Said So is your new release.
Yes, it is. The last time we were here, we were talking about reflections on my thoughts, and we were talking about my struggles with suicide and things like that. Well, thank God, He's just been a faithful companion in keeping me encouraged through those trials. And recently, He's called on my heart again and kind of given me a new challenge. And I recently walked away from a career that I've been a part of for 7 years in IT, and I think I was a little crazy. How do you explain to people when you walk away from a very lucrative career, a very established and comfortable career? How do you walk away from that? And at first, I think I tried to make up all kinds of excuses, but the only real reason I could give people is because God told me to. I had to. And the poems that come out of that book come out of my just going back to understanding who I am in God, to His calling me and us having a fellowship and a communion, and the struggle that comes in making those kinds of choices to be faithful to what God is calling you to do, even when you don't know always the end result.
So it sounds like you're in transition, you're in flux right now.
Absolutely. And I will say to anyone who's ever said this is easy, to anyone who's ever said that transition is fun, I won't call them a fibber. I'll just say that my experience is a little different.
How so?
It truly is a challenge, because oftentimes you don't understand what God is asking you to do. Oftentimes you don't understand where He's sending you. And to walk out on faith away from something that's familiar and comfortable to that, particularly if you're like me, an engineering brain, and you're logical, it doesn't make sense. It goes against convention. So you not only have the dynamics of struggling against what you think is sane or logical, you have the perception or the fear of the perception of what other people are going to feel about you. You don't have the certainty that you are so accustomed to. And it changes your paradigm. It really does. And when your paradigm is changing, there's an immense sense of fear, immense sense of just discomfort, and so I've had to go through all that, and I am still going through that. It's a process. It's not a immediate destination. It's a journey. It's a growth journey.
So the journey never stops?
Absolutely not. I'm 6 months in, and I can honestly say that I've gone through the panic phase, where I literally remember talking to my old boss saying, April Fools, I think I made a mistake. I want my job back. I want my money back.
Is this we're talking 6 feet, what are we?
We're talking, okay.
And you don't have to give me the definite, but
I had over a six-figure salary.
Over a six-figure salary.
And to walk away from that without knowing when the next paycheck was going to come or when it's going to come, and only being told to write, honestly, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy. I don't care what anybody else thought. And so you go through that panic, and you try to plan it out, right? That's the idea. I can do this. I can plan for it. But even that, your plans. They said if you want to make God laugh, tell Him your plans, because you don't know how long the journey's going to last. So how can you plan for something when you have no idea where exactly it's going to end or how long it's going to last? So I went through the panic phase. Then I went to I think I got this, I'm okay. And, so the wave goes down a little bit. And then I went to, no, I need to fix this myself. Because that's what I do. I'm a fixer. I can fix this. I can go back to what I've always done. I have earning potential. I don't write. Writing is a hobby. It's not a career, and particularly when you start to see all the other people who are doing what you believe God has called you to do.
Yes.
That makes it even harder, because you're like, well, what makes me any different from the other millions of writers or poets or authors out there? I used to make the joke that you gave me a spoon to carve out a mountain. What am I supposed to do with this? So it's a challenge. It's a true challenge of what do you believe God has told you in your heart versus what do you know in your logical mind. People don't want to differentiate between the heart and the logical mind, but there is a difference, because my logical mind constantly battles and says, this makes no sense. But in my heart, I know what I was told. and I know what I was instructed to do. So I've gotten over the concept of telling people. I used to make all kind of excuses. I used to talk about the fibromyalgia, the travel. No, the only reason I left my job is because God told me to. And that's going to have to be enough of an answer for everybody.
Because God told you to. And you're probably, the people out there have the same struggle you do. And in our moments left, I want you to talk to them. I want you to talk to the Cleveland Cavaliers after the loss. And Cleveland as a community, what now? The journey never stops. What poetry, what poem can you share that will give us some hope today? And I want you to look in that camera.
I would say It's Necessary. And a quick backdrop, It's Necessary is a poem about letting go. And not letting go so that you forget everything, but that you let go of the baggage and the pain and things like that of an experience. But you still hold on to the education that it gave you so that it makes you better moving forward. So I'd like to do this poem called It's Necessary.
Great.
Okay. I let go because it's necessary. Necessary, you may ask? Yes, necessary. You see, how can I grasp that which is before me if both my hands are holding on to that which is behind me or even currently within me? How can I move forward when my feet face back? So, yes, it's necessary. Then does that mean that the wants and the dreams and the love of the past are now of no merit? Of course not. They are the very reasons that I move forward. They are the very reasons that I let go. I let go so that what I want, I no longer yearn for, but now can have in tangibility and in fullness. I let go so that my dreams are now goals that grow and shape my reality. The dash, you know, that moment between where the end is now the beginning and the beginning now the end. I let go so that the love of the past can go from Philios and Eros to agape. To honor love by learning from her mistakes, learning of her true definition, and now living her daily. I don't let go to end. I let go to commence living in the joy of the today and the now versus the ghosts and pains of what was and the regrets of what could have been. To shift my eyes from the temporal to the eternal. I don't let go to end or forget. I let go to begin to remember who I am and was designed not to do, but to be. I let go because it's necessary.
Wow. Wow. Takes my breath away. I want you to look in that camera in our remaining moments after you gave such a powerful word about it's necessary. To those people that need to know it's necessary to let go and they need some hope. To those disenchanted fans out there, I'm still in. I'm still in.
We all still in.
I'm still in.
No, my last words, you know, in any of life challenges, instead of looking at the disappointments and the losses, look at the potential and the capacity of what you have to become. I would say that in anything, whether it's a spiritual journey, whether it's a physical one, a game, you know, there's always the capacity and the potential to look forward in the promise of what's left to come. We spend so much time looking back that we miss the promise of what's ahead. So I thank the Cavs for the experience that they gave us.
Yes.
I thank God for taking me on this journey because I am certain that my latter will be greater, as will the Cavs, than my former.
Wow. I thank you so much. We're nearing our time. I'd almost tell you to do Over the Horizon, but I want to say this to you. You gave me hope to know that there's something greater, there's something better. And because God said so, has poems in here that would help encourage people in transition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whether you're struggling, whether you're just trying to figure out what it's like to commune with God, whether you just need encouragement, there's something in there for everyone. Because we all have challenges, we all struggle, and we all need encouragement. No matter who we are, no matter how great, we all need encouragement. So yes, something for everybody.
Yes. And the next time we talk, Shaneen, I believe you're going to be in a different place on your journey, because the journey never stops.
I'm certain I will be. I'm certain I will be.
I appreciate your time here today. Because God said so. How can people get in touch with you? Would you let them know?
You can reach me at my website at www.ShaneenAHarris.com, or you can actually get the book at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. So thank you.
Thank you.